Hey everyone, how's it going? So on this video, just going to update you what I'll be doing on my channel due to this COVID-19 virus that's gripping the world. There's been quite a few changes. People are being affected by it, job losses, businesses closing. It's all quite scary stuff. In Australia, we're doing what's called social distancing, so we're keeping generally staying at home. A lot of people are working from home. I'm very lucky. I'm still working. My work's got provisions in place to ensure continuity of work, so I'm very lucky there. Since this horrible virus has come about, just about every bike meeting, bike show, bike event has been cancelled, from the Festival of Speed. I think the Dubbo Bike Show was had to be rescheduled. A lot of the club stuff that I attend has been cancelled until further notice. All the club meetings, which I understand. It's just in this environment we just can't go ahead with it. Unfortunately, that's going to affect some. I won't be able to bring you any content on that. I like sharing that sort of stuff, and especially rallies. I went to my first rally last year, and I really wanted to do it again and actually get some proper footage this year. But as I said, some things are out of our control. So at the moment, I'll just keep plodding on. I'll keep bringing out content. I'll do the best I can. And thanks for sticking with me. I really appreciate it. I enjoy doing this. I love motorcycles, cars, all that sort of stuff, and the motorcycle channel I've really enjoyed. That's my hobby. It's not all doom and gloom for me. I've got plenty of projects at home to do. Starters, I'm going to actually sort this garage out. I've had numerous goes at tidying it up. I get it tidy, then I get it messy again. I want to install a workbench. I'm going to see if I can hunt down a bike lift. So what I've heard is Motorcycle Trader is this is the last edition, and which is quite ironic because it's got over and out, but that's actually referring to the Norton brand, and there's an article in there. Quite sad that Motorcycle Trader's been around for 26 years. I think their first edition came out in 1994, and they've gone through quite some. They've had to evolve. The name itself, Motorcycle Trader, is virtually redundant on it because like back in the 90s, Motorcycle Trader was how we bought our motorcycles second hand, either that or the Trading Post. For those that are too young to remember, the Trading Post was virtually, best way to describe it was a newspaper full of private advertisements of us selling. So if I wanted to sell one of my bikes, I'd place an ad in the Trading Post. It would come. If I put the ad in before Wednesday, it was printed Wednesday night and released Thursday morning, and that ad would run for 2 weeks. The Trading Post used to come out weekly, and that's pretty much how we used to buy our bikes. Now the internet's here, we've got instant access to uploading ads and posting them. You think your Gumtrees or bike sales, things like that, they weren't around back in the 90s. It was all done via the print media. And Motorcycle Trader had the majority, I'd say 90% of it, was dedicated to selling bikes. There were pictures of bikes, you could see what was available. There was a couple of advertisements for dealerships and maybe even some manufacturers, and a handful of articles. And over time, when the internet kicked off, the need for advertising, it dropped off, so Motorcycle Trader virtually became just another motorcycle magazine. So they had to virtually reinvent themselves. They used to have, I think, an Australian Dirt Bike Trader section in it as well, and over time that was dropped, which was a shame because I really enjoyed that. That covered off all your latest trail bikes and associated gear, but they didn't think they needed to use that going forward. These days it's mostly articles. The only real bits for sale is right at the back, and that's through dealerships and wreckers. Actually, nothing on bikes for sale right through here. It's all talking about retro bikes, builders' garages, and a few feature pieces like this one's the Fall of Norton, which I'll be covering in another episode. It's a shame because I really enjoyed the articles in that magazine, but so it's it's quite sad and sort of ironic, like in a time where we're all locked down. You think magazines might have had a bit of a surge in sales. People need stuff to do. Reading, especially when if the internet's too slow, maybe reading magazines might have picked up a bit, but not to be. So, what will I be doing? I might do a few tool reviews. As I said, I'm going to tidy up this garage and put a workbench in, maybe find a motorcycle lifter. I've got a few videos on simple repairs I've done to the Laro, and I've been riding it, as you saw from my last video when I was talking about reviewing it. I've got a story about a couple of stories for the Grisso, and I'll be focusing on the GS125. Like I said, I said this last week that I'd be trying to do 2 videos a week. I'm going to try to stick to that schedule right through March, and I'll reassess that in April. Yeah, so it'll be every Wednesday and Saturday. People being stuck at home, going to need more stuff to watch on YouTube, so I'm hoping I can bring content that'll actually be enjoyable and actually useful to you. On that note, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next vid. So this is going to come across as a bit cold. Retailers are doing it tough, and over the next few months I'm expecting there'll be a lot of sales just to try and generate some revenue coming in, and really we probably should be taking advantage of it. If you can, keep buying stuff from your favourite retailers. They're really going to need your support, especially keeping staff employed. I couldn't imagine how much stress that they will be under, especially if they're a smaller retailer or dealer. But expect a lot of bargains to come up. So here's something I haven't really talked about much. You've seen on my links I'm actually got an account with Twitter. I've never really done much with it, but moving forward that's going to change a little bit, especially in this climate. What I'll be doing is sharing on Twitter. At the moment I've got zero followers, so give me a follow on Twitter, and what I'll be doing is sharing when retailers have got sales on. I'll be adding links on there for any sales, any relevant sales that it's motorcycle or tool related. If there's a sale on, I'm going to post a link up on Twitter. If you have money, if you have disposable income that you'd normally spend on your bikes, I'd be holding off. I know it sounds a bit cold, but I believe there's going to be a lot of things are going to be discounted, and it's going to play in our favour, and it's not often the consumer gets this sort of win. Again, I know this sounds cold, and I'm a bit troubled talking about it, but this is my theory. With sales, you save money, you'll probably end up buying a few more things anyway, so it benefits both. Keeps people employed, keeps money coming through businesses, and you can probably get things that might have been out of reach originally and now fall within your budget. Be patient, it'll come up. I know, as I said, it sounds cold, but it's just fact. This is the way the world works. Very importantly, if you have I know a lot of motorcycle dealerships and businesses are doing it really tough. If you've got one that's looked after you, try spend some money with them if you can. Not all of us can. I know there's been a lot of people lose work, lose hours, lose overtime, lose their livelihood. Every little bit helps. Spend at your local restaurants. Don't give up on them where possible.